Okay. Okay, welcome everybody to the Town of Orangetown Town Board meeting of Tuesday, March 24th, 2026, and we'll have the town clerk do attendance.
Councilman Paul Valentine.
Here.
Councilman Jerry Batari is absent. Councilman Brian Donahue.
Here.
Councilman Dan Sullivan.
Here.
Supervisor Teresa Kenny.
Here, and we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, couple of quick announcements. We have the Orangetown Shredding event, which is hosted by our town clerk, Rosanna Sfraga, and Rockland Green. That's on April 11th from 8 to 11:30. And we just ask that you bring a non-perishable food item for donation to a local food pantry. Then we have the Great American Cleanup that same day, so you can get a lot accomplished. That's also April 11th. It's from 9:30 to 12 o'clock. There'll be more information coming on the website. We customarily meet at the DePan Firehouse, but we're just finalizing the details with them. And it's rain or shine, so hope to see some new faces out there this year. We are going to have a discussion regarding the regulation of e-bikes on the Joseph B. Clark Rail Trail. I know there's a couple of people here to speak about it. And then you can, at the public comment, you can get up and speak. I just want to kind of give everybody a little bit of background on this. When I say we, it's the Superintendent of Parks and Recreation, who is here too, received a lot of complaints recently about when the weather turned nice, about people, the volume, the speed of these electronic bikes on the Joseph B. Clark Rail Trail. We started looking around, and actually, that had been brought to our attention previously that there was some issues with these bikes. So, you know, we put it out there. We wanted to kind of hear from people. I learned a lot about these bikes, probably more than I will ever need to know. People were really good. They sent emails, very detailed, very explanatory. Apparently there's 3 different level bikes. In our research, we also did find that currently motorized bikes are prohibited on the rail trail. So arguably they may already be prohibited, but they were not in existence when our law was passed. So it sounds like our local law is going to have to be revised no matter what. We also have a speed limit already on it that, in speaking with the police department, it's 15 miles per hour. They think it might be a little high. We might want to look at reducing that. But the discussion is really going to be about, do we allow I've learned about these different e-bikes and the levels and whether there's a throttle, which I don't really quite understand, but, the level 1 and the level 2 go up to 20 miles per hour. The level 3 can go much faster, up to 28 miles per hour. So some of the trails are doing, allowing 1s and 2s, and making go single file, and lots of things we can do. But I will tell you, there were very strong opinions on both sides. I had people that were like, ban them, they're dangerous, people with strollers, and other people that want to allow all sorts of bikes on the trail. So very strong opinions both ways. Nothing's being decided here tonight, but we do want to hear kind of from, I know a couple people signed up. We definitely want to hear from you. And like I said, we did get some very detailed emails. They've been shared with the town board. They'll be reading them. And this will be a continued item from this point on. But I appreciate people coming out. I appreciate the feedback because we want to hear from you guys about it. So when we get to the public portion of our meeting, you can get up and speak. We have a 3-minute rule. Just state your name, where you're from, and we'll hear what you have to say. We're going to do a real quick workshop of our agenda items. We just run through them before we go back to the public comment. So we have a public hearing on a watercourse diversion for the property at 622 Route 303, and I do know there's somebody here. You can, at the public hearing, you can get up and just kind of give a little summary of it. I know that there was a presentation at an earlier point, and we did get a letter from our engineering department saying there was no issues with it, but we can let you speak at the public hearing. So that's 3, 4, and 5 are all related to that item. Number 6 is a resolution just authorizing the town of Orangetown to support the America's 250 commemoration and authorizing some related expenditures. We are having a parade and a festival down at the Masonic Campgrounds on July 4th. And so we were advised that we should pass a resolution just for this extent that there's expenditures related to it, that the town is authorized to spend that money. Number 7 is authorizing the settlement of a town claim for damages. This is, Rob, this is us getting the money, right? for the-
Right, there was water damage from the HVAC system, and we finally worked it out. $55,000 for, replacement parts and things that had to be redone.
Will this finalize everything with the town hall?
Well, just on that, we're very close to finalizing everything on Town Hall.
Okay. Number
Eric's
8,
on it.
authorize permission for Jim Dean, Stefan Muno, Michael Donahue, and Brian DeBonis to attend the 2026 Association of Towns Annual Highway School in Ithaca, New York. Number 9, approve the agreement with H2M Architects and Engineers regarding the Town of Orangetown Municipal Storm Sewer Mapping. This is a grant. We do have a grant for this, but we are committing to spend up to $7,500 over and above if it's required. So that's basically what the purpose of this resolution is. And Jim's here if anybody has any questions on that. Number 10, we have appoint Brian Tarzane to the position of police officer, effective March 30th. We have number 11, appoint Joseph Pacifico to the position of police officer, also on March 30th, 2026. And we have appoint Liam Ridge to the position of police officer, effective March 30, 2026. Number 13 is approving a temporary sign installation at the top of East Washington to North Middletown Road. It's a 6-month police regulation. It's a no left-hand turn from Washington onto Middletown Road. Then we have budget adjustments. On 15, we're approving our insurance renewal, and we're very pleased to say we are getting it for $98,000 less from last year. So Jeff, thank you for your work and them for being competitive. So that's it for the workshop. Can I get a motion to open the public comment portion?
Motion open.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so as far as people signed up, the first person I have is S.K. Bailey. Yeah.
Good evening, S.K. Bailey from South Nyack. I appear tonight in response to news that there is a proposal to prohibit the use of e-bikes on the Clark Shared Use Trail. I'm opposed to this action on multiple levels. I own and ride an e-bike almost exclusively on the Orangetown trails. I am past retirement age and have some physical limitations which would prevent me from riding a pedal cycle, and I do not feel comfortable riding the e-bike on the highways with 5,000-pound cars going by me inches away at 35 miles per hour. In this area, we are blessed to have a spectacular network of interlinked shared use trails which stretch all the way from Manhattan to the Clark Trail. These trails are extremely heavily used and function for all practical purposes flawlessly. In my experience, I have never even once observed a problem interaction between e-bikers or anybody else using the shared use trails. I was astonished that at the town board meeting on May 6th, a presentation reportedly in response to a request by the supervisor was made proposing restrictions on e-bike use on the Clark Trail. The reason purported for this was apparently the supervisor had received multiple complaints. In hopes of discovering the nature of the problem, I made FOIL requests of the PD, the Parks Department, and the supervisor's office for reports filed of problems on the trails. The results, the PD had no complaints on file, likewise the Park Department 0 complaints, and the supervisor's office reported 1 complaint, and that complaint did not involve e-bikes. It was about pedal bikes. Time is limited, and I want to provide a bit of education about e-bikes. Sometimes you'll hear people who don't know what they're talking about asserting that, oh, e-bikes are just electric motorcycles. They're out of character on the trail. In fact, e-bikes are nothing like motorcycles. They are slow, even slower than pedal bikes, which can travel 30 to 35 miles per hour when ridden by younger people in good shape. By state law, e-bikes have very little power and are limited to a maximum of 20 miles per hour, which is achieved only under ideal conditions. They have great difficulty going up even moderate hills. Perhaps most surprising by people who do not have knowledge of e-bikes is that the vast majority, 85 to 90% in some studies, are ridden and owned by senior citizens who in many cases have partial disabilities. I'm including a footnote so you can have that when I hand out the paper. It seems to me totally indecent to put in place a law which would deprive senior citizens and those who are physically limited of the use of this wonderful resource. While I don't think that there are now significant problematic interactions, I do think that even those few that exist or might exist in the future could be resolved by these simple steps. 1, establish a 10-mile-per-hour limit for all traffic on the trails. The speed law and the New York State law requiring a bell on each bike should be enforced. There need to be 3-by-4-foot signs in multiple places which reinforce the idea that the trail is for shared use and that all users must respect each other. Further, the signs should delineate the responsibility that each type of users have. I'm done. I have copies
thank you.
for each of you so that you know what I said. Can I
Thank you.
hand them out?
Yes.
Okay.
You can just hand them right here, and he'll pass them down. He'll pass it, yeah, he'll do them. He'll do the
Thanks,
passing.
CK.
Bob Romano from Orangeburg.
Yeah, how you doing? I'm Bob from Orangeburg, and been walking the rail trail quite a bit now. And the e-bikes are really going a lot faster and faster each year. They're getting more complicated and more, they're faster. They're like mini bikes, and we weren't allowed to ride mini bikes. And they are a motorized vehicle, and the sign says no motorized vehicles on the trail. So, but they're coming very close to hitting us. And I'm walking a dog, a small dog, and they fly by, you don't even hear them. You know, no bell, no whistle, no, coming. They laugh. They say, you yell, and slow down. And they just go right by, 30, 40. You look it up. E-bikes could go 45 miles an hour now. And there's no restrictions. And you're not going to have a cop on the trail, so that's why I never bothered filing a complaint. But when I saw this coming up at the town meeting, I said, let me get my words in. That's all I got to say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Marie Feinmesser?
Hi, how are you? I'm Marie from Blauvelt. I'm just here as a parent representing the children, I guess, of e-bikes. My son has an e-bike, and although our town is small, it's big for the kids. We're in Blauvelt. My child has friends that live all the way down in Spark Hill and Palisades, and we have railroad tracks. We have roads like 303 and Western Highway and Orangeburg Road that can't even hold the size of the cars that we have nowadays. And it's the safest way for my children and his friends to get to each other, to go to each other's houses, to go fishing, to go to the parks, to go to the libraries. And they can go too fast, they can be too loud. I agree with all of these things, but I think we need speed limits, or we need whistles or bells or signs or something, but putting these kids with their bikes on a sidewalk next to these cars and these tractor trailers on 303s and over railroad tracks is way more dangerous than having the kids use the rail trail for their bikes. That's what it's for. It's for all of us to share. It's not specific to walkers or bikers, so I think we need to find a way to make it work so that everyone can use it, because it is keeping the kids safer. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Chris Bavandanier? Oh, okay. That's the only people that signed up. Is there anybody here who wants to speak?
Hello, Supervisor Kenny, Town Clerk. Paul Valentine is the lead for the Traffic Advisory Board. I'm a member appointed, thank you. I'm not representing them, though.
Okay. You didn't say your name.
Jim Castagna. I think if we had a little bit of education for the kids who ride these e-bikes so that there was a responsible use of the shared rail trail, I think everybody would win. I've been riding motorcycles for over 60 years. I grew up in Blauvelt. We used to race dirt bikes down at the sand pit. We used to go down to the sand pit over here in Spark Hill and race. We were never allowed to ride motorcycles or dirt bikes on the side of the roads. It was very difficult. A lot of times, if the police would chase us, we would flee. Very dangerous. And I'm concerned about, you know, the kids today. If we make it difficult for them to ride safely, if they're responsible on the rail trail, if they get chased, they'll flee and get hurt. And if they have to ride on the road, they'll really get hurt. I've been riding on the roads for about 55 years, and it is very dangerous on the roads. So we have safety officers at the schools. They could educate the children in the middle school and the high school. There are parents here who have kids who ride e-bikes. We could educate them, reinforce the importance of being responsible. And the rail trail is a linear park. It's slightly different than our other parks. Our other parks don't allow dogs. And e-bikes are here to stay. They're not going away. You could try to regulate them, and I'm not trying to, you know, say that we shouldn't obey the law, but the kids want to get together. They want to go fishing. They want to, you know, hang out. They don't want to stay home. And if our parents have to drive kids to meet their friends, they'll be stuck at home. So just keep the kids off the road, teach them to be responsible, and I think everyone's going to be okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Okay, is there somebody else that wanted to speak? Gentleman with the red hat.
Good evening, Ray Lennon, Tappan, New York, Dennis McHugh Court. My property abuts the rail trail. The reason why I came out to ask this evening, or to talk about the electric bikes, was 3 years ago I sustained an injury that basically rendered me handicapped. I'm not able to do a lot of the activities I was prior to my injury, one of them being an avid cyclist. And using the rail trail, especially during COVID and when the extension was made, it made a lot more of Orangetown more accessible with less traditional means of transportation. Since my injury, my wife bought me a present of an e-bike, and it's really changed how I get around town, how I visit certain establishments. You know, we can go to Piermont, we can ride the pier, and into Blauvelt. I have 3 high school-aged kids. All 3 of them also have e-bikes as a result of, you know, the accessibility for me and my wife. And we both work in the city, so it makes it very difficult for us to get them to activities, after school, athletics, and certain, you know, other events. So I think the use of the e-bikes properly and regulated is something that is a benefit to a lot of people that normally wouldn't be using them. And especially with the kids going to school. I mean, we live in Tappan. They're in Tappan Zee, around the corner here. That path is, I'd much rather see them use that path than be forced onto the roads, especially the condition of the roads, especially this winter and everything with potholes and all the rest. So it's the safest means of transportation for them and for me. And it's a shared use path. If used responsibly, I think it's a great recreational and also non-traditional modes of transportation. And like the speaker said before, if used correctly in different classes, you know, there are some e-bikes that are quite robust. They look like motorcycles. And I think it just comes down to just effective use and policing, if you want to use that word. Especially the parents. If the parents just, you know, if they blankly just let them off and not have responsibilities and consequences about their actions, I think that would help a lot. But a blanket ban across all e-bikes it would really be detrimental to me personally and to my family, and I think to a lot of other people that use that path. Thank you.
Thanks, Ray. There was somebody.
Good evening. My name is Paul McGrath. I'm from Pearl River. I recently took up riding an e-bike. I ride it from Pearl River to the trail, and I can't tell you the relief it is once I get to that trail, off the roads, and onto a nice, quiet area where you can ride your bike and feel comfortable. Is there problems down there? I've seen it, yes. Sometimes there's, and I'm not blaming kids, but they're young kids and they ride fast. And I think if we have an effort together to talk to these kids and say, hey, this is for everybody, respect everybody that's on the trail, you know. I've noticed that the non-pedal assist bikes travel faster than those bikes, than the electric bikes. And they travel in groups. And it goes back to also to the people who walk the trail, that respect that you don't gang the trail where it's fully, you have 4 or 5 people walking, they go right across the trail. I have a bell on my bike and I use it all the time. So everybody that uses the trail has to respect everybody else. Bikes, e-bikes, walkers, and people walking their dogs. So that's all I got to say. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. There was somebody, oh.
Matt McSorley, Blauvelt. My injury has nothing to do with e-bikes.
I did think it.
To me, a lot of this gets down to it. This would probably be much less of an issue if the infrastructure were entirely different. The rail trail is not that wide, and if there were more space on it, and there, you know, at least 2 lanes going each way, so 4 lanes with division lines across them, so that there was a slow lane and a fast lane, and all of that, I think people would be a lot less anxious about a lot of it. You know, people are on there with strollers. There are plenty of elderly that walk. You know, and I appreciate that some are using e-bikes now. Almost all the people I see on e-bikes are kids anywhere from late elementary to high school. Without exception, all the kids I know that have e-bikes are great kids, and without exception, they're all totally irresponsible. You know, it's just, you know, there's a culture around biking and people who learn how to do the signals and everything, and there's just no culture of it with e-bikes. They are here to stay, but there's definitely going to be liability issues and lawsuits and a lot of conflict that's going to arise from it because with the infrastructure being what it is, narrow and unlined and putting people directly in contact with each other as is going to happen, then there's just going to be a lot of inevitable fallout from this. Thanks.
Thank you. There was somebody here.
Good evening. My name is Susan Hanna. I live in Blauvelt, and I, since COVID, have had an e-bike that I can ride from my home in closer to Van Houten's to pick up the rail trail. And on a good day, I can go to Nyack. On a better day, I can go to Haverstraw. And almost every Sunday, I go to Piermont. But I realize this isn't about me and what makes me happy and what brings me joy. I appreciated that you are getting informed and knowledgeable about the class of e-bikes that there are. And I believe there might be some misconceptions and misunderstandings about what is a motorbike, a motorized class 3 e-bike, and a mini bike. So it's very easy for people to say those e-bikes, when in fact there might be a specific class that they're talking about that can go very, very fast. We have signs that no motorized vehicles. We have speed limits. We have rules and rules of conduct. I think somehow they need to be enforced. Even if it's just at the beginning of the spring, stopping the kids, telling them either they're not allowed on the trail or they need to perform better on the trail. I kind of thought if by banning all e-bikes, I think you're hitting a good part of the population that use these bikes responsibly. I can turn off my electric motor and ride the bike just as a bike. So it doesn't have to be motorized, it doesn't have to go fast. And I think a lot of people are finding a lot of enjoyment out of these vehicles. And I kind of feel like, if there's a rule that dogs must be on leashes, and all of a sudden, a lot of people in the community are letting the dogs off the leashes, how do we get them to put them back on the leashes? We've got to enforce it. We don't tell people you can't bring your dogs here anymore, although I guess that's an option. But I think that might be the better path. And of course, safety is the most important thing for everybody that uses that rail trail. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that is not signed up that wants to speak? This is not just about e-bikes, it's for anything else, so, okay. Seeing no one else, can I get a motion to close?
Make a motion to close public comment.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, so I want to thank everybody for coming out, and like I said, that we have certainly more homework to do, and we will keep everybody informed about the bikes, and we'll work with our head of our Parks Department, who is going to be speaking to other municipalities that have the trails. A lot of good issues. We talked about a lot of it. Can we stripe it? Can we, it's questions that we're going to have to work through with our Parks and Recreation Department.
So, I go on the trails with my grandkids, and I gotta be honest, some of the pedal bikers go just as fast as the e-bikes, and they go flying by. So I actually have an e-bike that goes much faster than 28 miles an hour, so I do know they go faster than 20 miles an hour. And people are not always responsible, and it's not always kids. There's a lot of people who use that trail to go back and forth to work and other things. I don't think we should ban them, but I think we could come up with some kind of compromise. My thought was, let's put speed bumps every 150 feet. That'll definitely slow down the bikers, whether they're motorized or not. Even if it's not a bump, if we do when you cross the center line, it has that little rumble strip. Do some rumble strips. It'll definitely slow down the bikes, and it'll still allow people to use and enjoy the trail. I think it's a little different over near you, SK, because those aren't paved. They're dirt trails, a lot of them, right?
The Esposito Trail?
Over near you, when you go on the trails, they're dirt trails. They're not paved.
The Esposito Trail is not, it's like not paved. It's gravel. Dirt.
It's a lot harder to go fast on a gravel trail than it is on these paved trails. The bikes over here in Blauvelt, they can be moving. Not everybody. Some people are very responsible and others aren't.
I blink at you.
There are, maybe speed signs,
Slow
but
down.
my thought was maybe just put those rumble strips and do it every 150 feet, and the people who are abiding by the rules go over them with no problem, and the ones that won't, we'll shake them and tell them to slow down. And then we could still keep all the bikes and other things, but that's just one thought. Please email us with suggestions if you have them. And we'd be more than open. People are telling me, well, why don't we make a bike lane? It's not wide enough to make a bike lane because you have bikes going in different
You
directions.
ever gone across the shared use on the Tappan Zee Bridge? It's a bike lane, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And, if you have, like I have a 3-year-old grandson, he rides his little 2-wheel bike down there. They're not going in a straight line. They're sort of doing this. And if a bike is coming very, very fast, 28 miles an hour or so, it's a little dangerous. So we got to find a happy medium that works for everybody. That's my thought.
I'd be happy to bring my e-bike to the Esposito Trail and let any of you ride it who would like to find out more about it before you make a decision on this.
Okay,
Just call me and let me know.
thank you. Okay, so we are going to move on with our agenda. We are going to open the public hearing of March 24th for the water course diversion. Can I get a motion to open the public hearing? Did I skip something?
I make a motion to open the public hearing.
Okay. Can I
I'll
get a second?
second.
What are you people doing?
Raz Brian.
Brian, you want to second it?
Second.
Oh, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so no one is signed up to speak at the public hearing, but I know we have the applicant. You want to come up and just give us a little background? But quick, because we have police hirings, and they really don't want to hear anything about this.
I'll try to be as fast as possible. My name is Rudy Zoda.
I'm with Bleakley, Platt and Schmidt, 1 Blue Hill Plaza, Pearl River, and I'm here to represent 622 Route 303 LLC in connection with an application for a watercourse diversion permit in connection with a proposed warehouse being constructed at 622 Route 303, and it involves rerouting a tributary of the Hackensack River around the eastern side of the proposed building. The engineer is here with me today also, if the board has any questions. But
Were you here for the last time we had it? Or somebody else? Someone else from your office? Okay.
They gave it pretty detailed.
Yeah, no, they
description
did,
last
they did give it pretty detailed. So unless somebody has any questions, I'm good. He was,
I'm good.
I hope you did bring all those good boards for something. Do you want to show them just for the sake of showing them? Okay, you can. Okay. Okay.
Show the boards.
Oh, do you
Wanna
want?
see
Did you bring boards you want to show us? Oh, no, you're good. Oh, just in case. No, that's okay. I don't need to see them. Okay, is there anybody else who wants to speak on this public hearing? Okay, hearing nobody.
Make a motion to close the public hearing on the watercourse diversion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the watercourse diversion at 622 Route 303, Blauvelt, New York? Motion?
I make a motion to approve the watercourse diversion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
thank you.
Number 6, can I get a approval of resolution for the town of Orangetown to support the America 250 birthday party? Motion.
Make a motion to approve? I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Although Carmel's still getting money out of people, so I don't know how much money we're gonna need to spend. She's strong-arming people.
Yes.
Okay, can I get a motion for number 7 to authorize the town attorney to settle a town claim for damages relating to the HVAC system for $55,000?
Motion.
I'll second
All in favor?
it. Aye.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve permission to attend the New York State Highway School for Jim Dean, Stefan Muno, Mike Donio, and Brian Demonis? Motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 9, can I get approval to approve the agreement to H2M Architects and Engineers regarding the separate storm sewer system mapping project? Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff. Chief, you want to say anything before we go to these? wanna
Do you
do
want,
them?
if you want to do the 3 first, and then I'll just
Okay,
talk once?
okay. Can I add a motion to appoint Brian Tarsnane to the position of police officer in the town of Orangetown effective March 30th, 2026?
Brian Tarsnane.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, can I get a motion to appoint Joseph Pacifico to the position of police officer in the town of Orangetown? Motion?
I make a motion to appoint Joseph Pacifico, police officer.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And can I get a motion to appoint Liam Ridge to the position of police officer, town of Orangetown? Motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve Liam Ridge as police officer.
Second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Supervisor, town board members. Just want to let the public know, these are 3 very important positions that we're filling, because right now we are down a little bit in the staffing, so we do appreciate that you're getting this in tonight, because then they will be fully certified and on the road prior to the summer coming, which is very important. So I thank you all for that, and I thank you all for being here for tonight.
Long way from the saloon, huh?
Congratulations, welcome. Congratulations and welcome. Congratulations.
Did they do a more formal thing at another point? Okay. Well, congratulations to the new officers and their families. But we're going to move on. Can I get a motion to, Chief, I just want to confirm. Chief, they'll do like a more formal ceremony later. Okay, okay, I just didn't want to shortchange them, so. Okay, okay. Can I get a motion to approve a sign installation of a no left turn from East Washington to North Middletown Road for a 6-month police regulation?
I'll make a motion. That's a dangerous.
I know, I'm the one who recommended it. I saw a crazy accent there. Second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 14, approve final budget line adjustments. We have Jeff here if anybody has questions for him. I know we sent it ahead of time.
I'm good. I make a
Anything?
motion to approve the final budget adjustments.
Okay,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the insurance renewal proposal with Arthur Gallagher? Again, at a reduction of $98,000. I'm like a kid, I'm so happy it's that.
Shocked that someone's getting cheaper insurance. I make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's because I insisted we shop around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the audit for tonight consists of 4 warrants for $2 million. Items of interest, number 2, Atlantic Salt, $43,000 for highway salt purchases. Number 4, Capassel, $111,000 for recycling. Number 8, CSEA Employee Benefit Fund, $35,000 for dental benefits. Number 10, Drone Sense, $27,000 for police drones, that's from RICO monies. And number 13, Global Mantello, $21,000 for fuel. Any questions on the audit?
Nope. Anybody?
Make a motion, we approve the audit as read.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we do have executive session for personnel-related matters. Anything else, Rob, besides personnel? Okay. We're not going to be voting on anything when we come out. We do have, unfortunately, a couple of adjournments. We have Maggie Conway, a former longtime resident of the town of Orangetown, established the Conway House, now known as the Maggie Conway House, run by Loeb House, a family care home in Orangeburg. We have Patrick Murphy, a resident of Pearl River, and we have Nancy Novoychek, resident of Pearl River, and Mother James Novoychek, retired Orangetown police detective. So,
I make a motion, we adjourn the regular town board meeting, go into executive session, and close the meeting after.
I'll second it. Oh, sorry. Danny, second.
They're fighting about it.
All in favor? Yeah.
Danny second, all in favor, aye, okay.
Aye.
Oh, yeah. I did my best. Some of them I can't, they ramble their name really quick.